section, we are going to discuss the concept of ad group. These are our educational aids, and over there my assistant is ready to provide the answers we need. So first, let's see what an ad group actually is. In this recording and these videos, I've received so much feedback about why I keep going back and so on. I'm okay, and my smile is still there. It's just that when I want to explain something correctly, I naturally become serious. So relax about it. Now, I want to define what an ad group is. Guys, remember that we've moved from the account and campaign level to the ad group level. We want to understand what an ad group is and how its components are defined. The definition you're seeing on the screen right now, don't worry about it because it's a technical definition. Don't write anything down yet. Just stay with me for now. Guys, we want to define the ad group at its first layer like this. Let's say that an ad group is like a piece of candy wrapped around two packets. The packets being the keywords. And the packet of ads, guys, we can have different ad groups. Up to this point, just keep this definition in mind. A piece of candy wrapped around two packets. What does that mean? It means two. Actually, I want to use this definition to help. Just keep this to yourself. Don't mention it during meetings and such, because it's just for understanding the concept. First, we have two packets and a piece of candy, meaning that these two are supposed to be connected together. It's categorizing them. That's all this role is. But aside from this piece of candy and these two packets, why am I saying two packets? Kids. Because the sentence you see in the image, the keywords and addresses, are not directly connected to each other. It means we have just connected the two packets, you check, together again. Okay? Let's move on to the next slide, and then we'll take a look at the dashboard together to see what the situation is. Before I actually explain the keywords and addresses, I want to add another definition here. A keyword is something, write this down. A keyword is something we define within the dashboard. What the user searches for. Remember at the beginning of the course we searched together, for example, hair transplant clinic. What the user is searching for, kids, we call it a search term. We don't give it any other name in Google Ads. What the user searches for, we call it a search term. So what happens? Does the user understand what our keyword is? No. We set the background keywords. Now how these work, we haven't talked about it yet, but practically, kids, the process is this. Now in the office, we wanted you to write down a search that the user performs. Colloquially, it fires a keyword, it has a major role. Now together, we will see it in the next friend and image. It performs a search, we take a search term for it, and Google checks a series of rules with our keywords. Ultimately, a number is displayed. Guys, let me tell you something right here. Write this down in your notebook. I want to flash back to the sentence we said that, hey, the position is not fixed, Google doesn't sell positions. Guys, a search is performed, a keyword is fired, and it might be a number. In fact, this firing is important, and ultimately a number is displayed. Guys, write down these results, the results now. It can be different from now. Remember, I refreshed the page. It changed. Even the results changed. It might not change either. You see, it's not something we can say happens 100% for sure. It might not change. The results now are different from now. Guys, Google comes and checks all these things at the moment of a user search. So a search was performed. A trigger keyword. In fact, the keyword in Google plays the role of a trigger or a matcher for us. The keyword in Google plays the role of a trigger or a matcher. And ultimately, the result of this firing is the display of our ad. Remember our ad, it was that text ad, and we looked at it together. In the first videos, those writings that we actually saw. In the SERP, those that had an ad for them, those were the ads. Well, now let's go back again. So, again, there's a layer that comes up between the ad group. Keywords and ads. The ad group plays a crucial role. Well, guys, I want to go over an example with you now, which is a really terrible sample of an ad group. Okay. On my left, I've placed the keywords, and now imagine, guys, that this is a circular roll with two packets. We have a series of keywords: high-heeled shoes, formal shoes, hiking shoes, slippers, sandals, formal shoes, and people searching for the best shoes for running right. And in that same group, we came and wrote a series of numbers according to our own perspective, imagining for each word, for example, an ad for the best hiking shoes in Iran, an ad for hiking shoes with the best price, an ad for flip-flops for special parties, an ad for men's patent leather shoes for grooms. Okay, all right, guys, imagine. The user has searched for and bought 10-centimeter high heels. Well, what does it mean that the user has searched? Here, in fact, you write that the search term equals buying 10-centimeter high heels. Well, the user has searched for this, and Google comes and checks the background story map with our keywords. Guys, I'll tell you the rules. Now, I know that, for example, depending on certain conditions, my high heel keyword triggers. Well, my high heel keyword triggers. Up to this point, I've only understood that an ad group is not just a single hunt around two packets of keywords and ads. Now, we also have different ad groups. My high heel ad triggered, right? So what happens now? Pay attention, guys. Google comes and reaches into the packet of ads from that same ad group, pulls out one ad, and imagine the user searched for and bought a 10-centimeter high heel shoe, but sees an ad for the best hiking shoes in Iran. So, what happens? Now, aside from those friends who go hiking in high heels, well, and the natural behavior here, but now, normally I searched for and bought a 10-centimeter high heel shoe and saw an ad for buying hiking shoes. For example, I saw an ad for the best hiking shoes in Iran. So, for example, what happens? Well, it's possible that I won't click because, I searched for high heel shoes, but it showed me hiking shoes. Pay attention, Google again, reached into the same ad group pocket and pulled out one ad and displayed it. Write down this event from the ads, meaning from the pocket of the same ad group whose keyword triggered an ad. Repeat it several times so you don't forget. Well, now what happens? The user sees this and most likely won't click on it. This is one result. What signal are we sending to Google? That our ad might not be very suitable. Besides that, now, imagine for any reason they clicked without reading. Well, you have paid the cost here for their click. What happens? They go in and see that there are a lot of good hiking shoes. They see the shoes, put them on, and try them out. One perspective here is that they might say, well, they might eventually go for my hiking shoes too, okay? Because they have started the behavior, and beyond that, there's something else. What happens here? They see a series of hiking shoes on your site, and very likely, they click away and go to another ad or another link, or better to say, it doesn't matter if it's an ad or organic or all three. Well, they go to another link. At this point, practically you haven't achieved what you wanted, and your user hasn't achieved what they wanted either. Guys, what should we do to correct this mindset? Please take a few seconds to think about what to do to address this situation, considering the behavior that Google had and the user experienced. Remember the other 7 things I mentioned. Recall the definition of ad group. And remember what role it plays. What should we do in this area? Or better to say, what should we do? Guys, the approach in this task is to separate the ad groups based on their performance and the situation that is occurring. This means we should streamline the keywords and ads that are connected by a common thread. Separate ad groups based on the theme of keywords, such as those related to high-heeled shoes, and organize the ad groups according to the relevant keywords and ads. This means I create an ad group entirely focused on keywords related to high-heeled shoes and place them in that ad group. In the keyword section, for example, price of high-heeled shoes, buying formal high-heeled shoes, online store for high-heeled shoes, online sale of high-heeled shoes, suitable high-heeled shoes for offers are included in the ad group. The ads related to this theme should also be in this ad group. So, what should the ads in this ad group be? For example, an ad for standard high-heeled shoes with special delivery and a special warranty, or an ad for special standard 15 high-heeled shoes. I don't know if we have it or not, an ad for high-heeled shoes, specifically for women with heavy colors, comfortable high-heeled shoes, all of them, related to the sale of high-heeled shoes, now with different models that I can write about. Well, so this became one group. I'll create another group around the keywords of shoes, shoe pieces, shoe money, and many of its numbers are related to the sale of shoes, their store, not non-shoe items. This time, the word I'm saying and writing numbers, we write a complete ad, that I'll fully explain to you. So the correct strategy is this. This is the technical definition of a group of numbers. A consistent theme of keywords and numbers related to them. So you're doing this correctly based on the behavior that Google shows in its dashboard, which provides insights and brings up numbers based on which keyword is fired in which group. Well, the most logical thing for me is to categorize it this way and say a consistent theme of keywords and numbers related to them. As I said, my keyword was triggered, and the result of the trigger being pulled is the display of that request. Now the question arises here, should I create an ad group, for example, and only include those that contain the word sale? Well, guys, if I put the word sale, it means I'm focusing on its presence. Pay attention, guys. If we focus on the presence or absence of a specific word in the keywords we consider and ignore user behavior. What happens then? For example, suppose we make the word sale into an ad group and also make the word price into another ad group. Guys, this approach hasn't been thought through. For instance, what happens? Sale, again, becomes just a shoe sale, or shoe sale could be sale of running shoes, and so on. Again, shoe price could be price of brand X shoes. Instead, I should categorize the ad groups based on the type of shoe. So, did you get what I'm saying? Guys, let me mention a point here. Write it down. In all my explanations, I said that the theme is related to keywords and ad groups. Did I mention anything about landing pages here? Did I say anything about how my website is categorized? Write this down as a key point. I don't care about the presence or absence of a specific word for differentiating ad groups. Also, under no circumstances for differentiating groups. I don't have a specific landing page or category pages on my website. Maybe my categorization is wrong. Or perhaps I've put all my shoes on one landing page. The ad groups are also separated, but it's possible that all these ad groups have one landing page. I'll talk about it later. So I don't separate ad groups based on landing pages at all. I don't separate ad groups based on the categorization in my website menu and so on. I don't focus on whether a specific word like sale is included. Guys, I pay more attention to the theme of my keywords and ads. And I consider the behavior of my users based on what I have in my keywords. Let's move on to educational aids. Guys, please, if you are a man, consider your own perspective. And if you are a woman, consider your own perspective. To make it okay, I will answer as a representative of the men, and my assistant will answer as a representative of the women. If we want to say, let's assume only the men are answering, what color do the men see this color as? Blue. What color do the men see this as? Blue. Sir, this was just for your clarification. Again, what color do the men see this as? Blue. What color do the men see this as? Blue. Again, what color do the men see this as? Blue. Here it becomes clear what a great injustice is being done to the men. Really. Again, what color do the men see this as? Blue. Still, both below and above are blue. Well, now, please respond. Ladies, just speak up loudly. What color do you see this as? Can you say it louder? Louder. Thank you. What color do you see this as? What color do you see this as? Let's give this a discount, blue. What color do you see this as? What color do you see this here as? What color do you see up here? It's turquoise and has a piece with two colors. Okay. What color do you see this door as? It's a Persian blue. Well, guys, in our directory, these colors are not defined for men. When we go shopping for clothes, we say, do you have blue pants? The salesperson shows us whatever blue items they have or don't have. Interestingly, we don't differentiate either. We just look at what we like and pick it up. If I'm supposed to learn from the group A, it means I should pay attention to user behavior and the variety of words they use. They say blue, 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 so I create a blue group for them. Then I create a green group and a red group. Guys, we're not colorblind. These names are just not defined for us. Now suppose my target audience is women. What does that mean? It means from the volume of words that exist in between and the behaviors. Or to put it better, as we move forward, we conduct keyword research. We see, okay, there's a category. They are searching for the word turquoise, a category for blue like us. What was the category? Carbon. Carbon blue, for example. Indigo. Okay? Carbon is also from previous imitations that I have. So, they search for a category of indigo, a category of royal blue, carbon blue, and navy blue. They categorize pastel blue. Kids, I'm talking about a category, the one who is looking for pastel blue and is behaving in a certain way on the keyboard, I have identified, let me see, they have a large volume categorized as pastel. If I see, for example, I'm saying, suppose, I see that, sir, this has been given a large volume. It's not about that. Pay attention to the variety of my words. Kids, write this down. I don't care about any statistics in the analysis of groups and the division of my words by volume. Underline this 10 times. The rest. I focus on the variety of words, not at all on their volume. When I know that a wide variety of words is appealing, for example, pastel. Well, if I categorize this with blue, for instance, I don't care about its landing behavior. For the advertisement, I want to write, I say, sir. For example, the sale of, let's say, various blue clothes. Well, this person is looking for pastel blue, or their behavior is looking for turquoise blue. A lot of variety, not just one or two words. I don't care about that. Well, I'll tell you this later. So here I have a separation of ad groups. My ads revolve around turquoise, and the keywords are the same. On the other side, my ads revolve around navy blue and the keywords are the same, I also have an ad group where the ads and keywords revolve around the general word blue, and I display this and actually show it in a related manner. So here we learned that an ad group is a consistent theme of keywords and ads related to them. Guys, let's also take a look at the dashboard to see that. What is the status of these ad groups and these keywords in the middle of this? Guys, take a look at this. This is the appearance of a good dashboard. In this section, I don't know, in a specific campaign, guys, learn this top breadcrumb. Now, some people see it like this, where there's a whole line behind all of them. This is the breadcrumb. Well, I'm looking at the ad groups of the shopping campaign. They look at it well. Now, you see, guys, the ad groups have been categorized into different sections. Fabric organizer box, embroidery number stitching, general embroidery, Jabara embroidery, thermal pen, and so on. Guys, this thing that you are seeing here is the ad groups. When we enter the ad group, look, it went to the keyword level. Right. Right now, I'm not concerned with what this keyword is about and so on. I just want you to know what a keyword looks like. Now you see, the category is imame thread. Pengu is also imame thread. The thread that is used for making imame, isn't it? Imame thread is a type of thread. Embroidery thread, damsa thread, hand embroidery thread, various embroidery threads, the same thread. The price of damsa thread, you see the theme is consistent. I wanted to show you this so that you understand the theme of the words we see here. Is clear regarding, for example, embroidered fabric, right? The price of cross-stitch fabric, special cross-stitch fabric, again, sorry, from the cross-stitch fabric group, the length of the cross-stitch fabric, 24 count, where to buy cross-stitch fabric, and so on. Now, moving on to embroidered fabric, exactly the same theme is repeated here. It is observed that this fabric is suitable for punch needlework, burlap fabric for embroidery, where to buy embroidery fabric, suitable fabric for embroidery, cotton fabric for embroidery, and so on. So I am establishing a specific sequence here. I am saying I have categorized it. Look, kids, the different themes are subsets of the campaign. Right now, I am at the campaign level, gradually learning the keywords and addresses. I want to go and see the ad groups of my entire store campaign. Right now, I am looking at the ad groups of my entire store campaign in this table. This is just to give you some insight into this topic and the kids too. Our search terms are also separate here, and I will explain them in detail for you later. I just wanted to give you a general overview regarding the uniform theme of the keywords that we are trying to achieve in this topic, until you say campaign and ad group. What do I mean by saying it's tiered? You can clearly see it in this breadcrumb and that address. In the next section, we will go on to see how the user's search was filling our keyword, and ultimately how the impressions were being displayed. On what basis is this search being connected to that keyword? And at all, what rules is Google following in this process? So that this happens, then we will familiarize ourselves with these together, which becomes the topic of match types that we will learn together in the next video. I'll be waiting for you in the next video.